So a big question that's going to always be asked is how do you grind the game, especially at the start? Is there menu content? Is it all gameplay? Is it just objectives? And to be honest, at the start of the game, it all depends on if you are spending money or not. If you're spending money, it just excels that little bit more. If you're not, there's still ways to grind out and do pretty much everything you need to get to the best point very early on. Now, the first things first, objectives are obviously going to be incredible. They are what you can get in terms of foundation players. You can get a team of the week from it. You can get other foundation players from a player pick and just plenty of packs in between. You look at a lot of these, some decent chem stars that you can throw in, obviously some free 81, some coins. Naturally, these are going to be easy winners, especially off the start when it comes to the foundation point of the game, because you just get so much from it. And to be honest, it is just half of the time playing the game a little bit, doing a few rush matches, doing a few rivals, then obviously some squad battles and also some moments. They're going to be the easiest way to start the game in general, especially if you are starting from a net zero. And I'm kind of taking this video as if you're not necessarily spending any money. Maybe, yes, you've got yourselves the 6,000 FC points or the 3,000, whatever they gave us in two halves. Then you obviously have got all of the seasonal stuff. Now, this is going to be something I would just do as a secondary. I'd utilize this as kind of my extra goal to grind as I continue through the game, because these are not necessarily going to be quick wins. The weekly objectives, definitely do them as quick as possible, and then obviously the season 1 weekly play completionist I would do as well. Now, yes, you're not necessarily going to get crazy amounts and it will take a few weeks to get all of this, but in general it's going to just be extra stuff you can throw in the bank just to add to your tally. We then have live events, which obviously now we've got the early access finale. If you did obviously participate in the the kind of tournament leading up to this, the qualification, then obviously there was packs in that. And then we do have the World Tour Silver Superstars League that's going to be coming out at some point. Again, plenty of packs, but in general you've got some packs towards the end which will end up pretty well. Now, obviously the better you are at the game, the better the rewards are going to be for this. I'm not mad at that. If you are incredible at the game and you don't want to spend money, fair enough. You are probably in for a very good FC. I think this is going to be a potential where they give out a lot more rewards for being better at the game, and you're kind of in that category, having the weekend league, the Champions Weekend versus the Challenger division, was it 5 and below or something like that? The rewards are going to be better for the better players. Then obviously the campaign, you've got the weekly rush. Again, very easy. If you've got a friend that you can do it, it goes by so quick. You do all the objectives, you get a lot of packs every week just from playing a little bit of rush. Do some evolutions with it. Plus then obviously some players that you can get. Then naturally we're all working towards our milestones, and then FC Pro is at the end, which you can obviously complete. Which, to be honest, I don't think I remember really seeing much in there. First gameplay, and we've got the open ladder, which is going to give you the FC Pro kit. Nice. So they're kind of your rewards, and then obviously the big one from that is always going to be the season pass. Naturally this is going to give you a lot of rewards across the board, which is always nice, and some extra stuff as well. From career mode you're going to get some icons, so just some little bit extra kind of preview as we go through the game. So that's always a great place to start. Now obviously where most people will start is going to be SBCs. Now if you have finished off the foundations, then that's going to be kind of your job done to start with. We have now not necessarily got the same as what we did previously with the hybrid League and Nations. We've kind of just got some intros more than anything, and I can imagine we will get some sort of League SBC or League hybrid as we progress into the full game, so that will be to come. But again, foundation players, some nice starter packs, they're always going to be a nice starter to get into it. I would then be looking at the challenge SBCs. Obviously all 3 of these are well worth doing. They are normally all tradable. I believe they are all tradable. These are untradeable actually, as marquee matchups is tradable. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics, and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with Eldorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Yeah, so market matchups is tradable, and then I believe the early access, I want to say that one was tradable. So grinding them out to get some extra coins, if you do manage to get somebody good, then is always perfect. Sometimes the best players can come from a marquee matchups, but finishing them off each week is always going to be great. Then obviously we've got the gold upgrades, which I personally don't participate in too much now because we do get upgrades pretty much every week, and it seems to be we're following that sort of theme. 83 rated upgrade, and then we do have the double 77s, which is going to be another one that is most definitely well worth doing. So personally for me, if you can just grind out as much as you can in terms of these gold rares, and then just throw some of your gold commons on there as well, it's just a nice upgrade to have in general, just to throw in the pot. It may not stick, it may not give you a crazy amount, but at least it's kind of just something better than nothing. You're throwing in some of your low rated rares that you might have got from plenty of objectives, plenty of rivals, to then potentially get something from it. Now obviously with this, it's again a chance game more than anything. I don't kind of put my major hopes on gambling it, but packs, realistically, that is the main aspect from it. So doing your rival rewards every single week, if you are really into the game and want to play quite a considerable amount, squad battles is always going to be an option as well to start with. Get rid of that evos. So they're going to be kind of modes that you can obviously do right now that will give you rewards back each week. Once we get into weekend league, that again is going to be another one if you are looking at doing this for free, to be able to just grind out as much as possible in this game. Then this is kind of without spending money, because naturally if you are spending money, realistically all you're doing is just giving yourself a little bit of a shortcut. You don't necessarily need to, like I'm doing here, really kind of see what sort of upgrades you want to do and don't want to do, and see what's truly worth it. Because realistically, you could probably put a case that the 77 times 2, you might as well wait a week or two, because naturally it seems to be we're falling down the same path of upgrades every week. So naturally you could just wait for the next ticket and just go for that instead. Maybe there's less rares required. Maybe there's kind of a triple upgrade, a single upgrade, but it's an 80 plus. There's always going to be next week, and that's why I wouldn't necessarily go too much on the FOMO side of it, and really focus towards on where your club's at and what you want it to actually be doing. Are you looking to go with now multiple teams because of the gauntlet? That's always going to be a big thing that people may have forget straight away, because naturally we've not had it before. So it's again something different thrown into the game that might have an effect on just generic teams in general. So doing all of these upgrades are always fine. You might not get anybody, you might get somebody, but at least it is the chance to potentially get somebody decent. Then obviously you've got your classic packs doing your standard preview pack every day. There's a chance. I don't think I really got too many noticeable ones in FC25, but it's always a different year. And then naturally grinding out for some of these SBCs that are ridiculously cheap. And even if you're just grinding up some coins to be able to buy the players outright, you maybe have to just buy a couple of 84s to finish off a Reece James. You can obviously do the showdowns with no problems at all, because naturally they're 10k each. So in general, it works out pretty well. But I think doing a mixture of all of this is always going to be fantastic. Like I say, doing your rival rewards, doing obviously some squad battles, if you're throwing in some rush for the objectives, they're going to be fantastic. Obviously with the lives, if you've obviously got them for the finale, fantastic. Squad battles, even moments, finishing off a few of them to be able to get into the 50k pack, to be able to buy some premium gold packs. They are extra stuff that you're not necessarily having to put anything towards, so they are well worth at least having a look at the minimum. So it is just an all-round kind of gameplay if you are not spending money. If I was to suggest spending money on the game to some extent, if you've got a bit of coins, if you've just got something lying around, then potentially some of them might be worth it. There might be a pack that you think in terms of the club stock it gives you, it's well worth its coins, and some can be, some really can be, but I would most likely stay away at the moment, especially if you are trying to build coins, just because at this point of the game, if you've got hundreds upon hundreds of thousands, and maybe if you've got lucky with trading, that's something that I haven't really delved into, then you are one of the lucky ones. And I would try and keep as many coins as I can possible to then potentially make more moves in the future. So maybe you're missing that gold pack that you open, missing the 100k pack, and just trying to grind out the game a little bit more. Learning the game, that's going to be a really important one, especially if you are rocking with a standard team to start with and you want to really kind of get the mechanics down. Again, playing the game is going to be the best that you can. Once we get into the full-fledged game of upgrades and everything, it sometimes can be a bit tedious and you might not necessarily get to the level that you truly want. So I do think there is a bit of everything going around. Like I say, squad battles is going to give weekly rewards, rivals is as well, doing your objectives, your season pass, then into the SBCs daily, maybe even then to a few evolutions. I know we've not necessarily got a crazy amount at the moment, but even just throwing in a Doku into something just to get him up a little bit of shooting, it's going to be stuff that is well worth having in the future, especially with all of them having that repeatability as well. One extra upgrade sometimes can be the difference for that goal. Now, it's not going to be the be-all and end-all, but it most definitely could help, and it won't hurt at the minimum. So that would kind of be my way to grind the game, is quite literally utilizing all the mechanics that they truly give us, especially then once we get into more tournaments, once we get into the gauntlet, maybe throwing in a cheeky draft to be able to play with players at this point in the game that you could only dream of, and just having a bit of fun with it. It's a bit of a grind. It will start off this way, and before you know it, we'll end up with God Squads. It'll be hopefully not November, and we will be able to naturally play the game at a decent level and maybe just don't have to spend as many points. But that's going to be it for today. Make sure you do like and subscribe, and tomorrow we will be looking at the cornerstones. I know it's been an extra day, but I've been away, and hopefully they're as good as what I'm thinking. Peace.